You really have to do what you said you would do. Why? Because that's how confidence comes from. Welcome back to Wenxin's channel. This is Wenxin. How are you today? So today I'm going to share with you about one topic about manifestation. So all you know that manifestation is really powerful, and a lot of celebrities and big people on the history, they always sharing how they actually manifested their life. So here I want to share with you three parts of how I actually do manifestation and why it's so important that you should do manifestation for yourself as well. So let's get it started. In total, there are three parts. First, believe yourself. Second, dream big. And the third, leave yourself alone. All right. So first, let's talk about believe yourself, right? So you really have to do what you said you would do. Why? Because that's how confidence comes from. It doesn't grow from nothing or dirt or zero, right? It actually has to be coming from what you promised yourself and you actually did your action to take action, take initiative to actually do it and achieve whichever that you said you would do. That is the key, that how you gain your confidence and you believe in yourself. You have to be the person that keep your words and also delivering and doing action, taking action and behaving yourself to actually achieve what you said you would do. For example, right, like I said, I will just drink water every day. So if I'm going to do this, right, like 5 cups of water every day, I have to do it. Otherwise, if I can't keep my words to myself, who else would, right? This is how you cultivate your confidence as well as your self-esteem, right? You have to speak to yourself what you want to achieve and you actually do it. For example, in Chinese slang, we always say 一屋不扫,何以扫天下? It means if you doesn't clean your house, then how could you achieve bigger achievements such as manage a country? It may be a very extreme example, but that's a good saying because why? If you don't keep the tidy things for yourself, when you say you would do, how would anybody or even yourself would expect yourself can achieve something bigger than that, right? So number one, how to believe yourself. Do what you said you would do. Myself, when I was little, I grew up in China. And in China, in Chinese education system, when you graduate from your elementary school, it's about like 12-year old, you're going to choose a middle school to go into. And for the city that I grew up into, it's Shenzhen in China, in Guangdong province, a city would say very close to Hong Kong, and it's definitely one of the most advanced education system there. And in that city, when I graduate from my elementary school and need to go to a middle school, I have to pass particularly exams to actually get adopted and accepted by the middle schools that I can go to for my next 3 years of middle school. So in that summer, I actually went for probably at least like 20, 30 countless of middle schools like entry exam that summer alone. So I would usually, my dad will took me because he drives us around. We either go to one school in one district for the morning test and then had a quick lunch and then take the bus or so and head over to another school for another exam. So that was my first time ever that I tried so many things regardless of thinking whether I would be accepted or not. I just keep like done, like following the schedule that my dad told me that I have to go to this particular school and finish this exam with this school particularly. For example, we have Chinese courses. We have mathematics, we have English. So I probably take at least like 2 to 3 exams at least, depending on that school, whether they will have like, one exam for all these different subjects, or like they have separate subjects for each, categories. And that summer alone taught me one very important thing is that a lot of times, believe yourself means you don't care about the results at the moment when you're doing it. The only thing that you're fully focused is about like how much time that I'm going to put the efforts in there, as well as I'm going just to do it, regardless of whether I will be accepted, whether this exam will fail me, or what other factors might impact my final results. I just don't care that much anymore. I only have one goal is that at this moment, either in the morning or in the afternoon, with this school, when I'm sitting here, I have to finish this paper, finish this exam as much as I could, as well as I could. So, like by the end of the exams, I don't care about the results anymore. I only focus on each exam that I was there for. And ultimately, actually, with this mentality, I was also lucky because I got accepted to by the same school that I went for the elementary school, which usually they don't accept the newbies that easily because they always depends on where you live, your address, your zip code, and then you should be chosen depending on that area kind of thing. But because I was kind of new to that city, I moved to Shenzhen after Qingdao City for a while, even though I was born in Shenzhen. But it's just a different school educational kind of system. So from that, by the end, it actually gave me quite well results by the end, even though at the time I didn't care much about whether this school will pick me or not, because to be honest, I think that school which accepted me by the end was the last school that I actually had exam with. But I always tell myself, like after this so many years, that a lot of times you feel like this process kind of wasting your time, right? Like you feel like, why should I always doing all these things in the middle, right? This won't lead me to that ultimate goal. This might be just efforts that will be thrown away or so, which actually is not true. Why? Because all the efforts that you put there before you actually meeting with your dream goal actually are all the tasks that are going to cultivate your capability to enable you finally get into the door to your ultimate dream opportunity which you want. And all these tests before that are just perfect exams that will train you, will teach you, will also get you mentally prepared for that final test, which will, you will ultimately pass with all these experiences that you learn from the previous procedures, which sometimes seems a little bit like wasting. But trust me, no efforts or no experience ever you had will be a waste. All these things will mean something to lead you, to guide you to your ultimate success one day. So another example is when I was in the high school. So I was studying like chemistry, physics, biotechnology, those things. So we had those competition exams for chemistry. So by the time when I was, I think the second year of my high school, I was not good at chemistry at all. Like for total 100 scores for one exam, I usually can maximum like get 60 or like 50 something scores, almost like a half of the total score. But that exam, I just somehow think, why not, right? I'm already studying it, and I feel like this is could be a good chance just to give it a try, see how the chemistry kind of competition will actually work, and what else that I don't know. Maybe I can like study harder in the future. So I just told my teacher that I want to be in that competition. So I got signed up. And by the day for that competition, I remember so like clearly. Like I still can remember the door, the gate of that school, because there are two schools for the same name of the school. You can see like there's two locations of this school, right? So my dad picked me up and dropped me at one school gate on time, perfectly on time, which means I have maybe like about 10 minutes to actually walk into the classroom for the exam, right? Which that school wasn't my high school at all. It's a different location, which I was not familiar with at all. So I just walked in, and the gatekeeper told me that I went to the wrong place. They have two campuses, and the one that for the exam and for the competition will be another one. So I was like, this is awesome. I'm already on time here, but if I have to walk towards to the other campus, I would be for sure 100% late for the exam. But by the time I was like, who cares? I've already been here, and 5 more minutes walking is totally fine for me. And anyways, I wasn't really like expecting any prize from this competition. I'm just using this as a good opportunity just to see what I know and what I don't. And I was lucky that I got the chance. And my teacher said like, oh, you can just give it a try. There's no limitation or no expectation at all. You just enjoy your time there. So I was like, okay, since I'm already here, why don't I just walk? So I took the walk. When I went into the other campus, the exam already started like 10 minutes ago or something. And the gatekeeper of this other campus told me like, oh, why you showed up so late? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, you can still go in, but you sure like just making sure you're like taking care of everything. I was like, I don't give a, I just don't care that much anymore because I'm here. I walked from another campus to here, and I'm expecting nothing. I'm just dedicated myself, my efforts, my time here to finish this competition. That's all what I'm here today for. I don't care about the result. I don't care about whether I will get the prize or so. I just showed up, and when I sit there, I started like finishing all my like answers on the exam as much as I can. And if I couldn't, I even guessed the answer. With those multiple choices, you can, even without knowing like what's going on, you still can guess what's the answer. So I was like, okay, so maybe let me just guess a couple of answers and fill all the empty spaces full, so that at least like I show my efforts that I actually do the test and for the competition. And by the end, 2 months later, one day our chemistry teacher showed up with some prizes, like those certificate cards that showing like what's the level of the prize that you won. So he started talking about, oh, who won the awarding prize, which was maybe the last prize, the least, like the lowest prize, and then the third prize, and then the second prize or so. And I haven't heard my time like all these tiers. So I was like, oh, if the lowest tier, which my teacher said about the first, right? Like if there's no my name, probably my name would never be showing ever. So I was just like, oh, who cares? I don't care. Blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, my chemistry teacher said one thing. He said like, now let's announce last but not least, which is also out of his surprise, my chemistry teacher's surprise. He said, let's say the name for the first prize, which was my name, Wen Xin. I was like, wow. I was like, what? I can't believe my ears. Like, what did I just hear? Because by the time in my imagination, I've always been the least on my classes when getting to this chemistry like exams results. Usually I disappointed on myself. Nobody really like believed I would be winning even the third prize. But in this competition, I won the first prize. I was so shocked. Like I didn't know what magic that happened. To be honest, I don't believe that I'm a chemistry master. Like definitely not the case. At least in my opinion at the time, right? Not the later, because this competition completely inspired me so much that I've been willing to learn my chemistry a little bit better, which also led me to a great results in my high school, you know, the final exam to get into the university. So from this story, I just want to tell you one thing is believe yourself. A lot of time means you are not expecting anything. You expect nothing but just join and enjoying the moment when you are there. You don't want to say, oh, what I would expect the big thing from out of it. I just was totally immersed in that moment and I truly just want to show my best efforts. I want to show up. I want to do what I promised myself to. And I just be there and try my best. And a lot of times you will never know like what this thing will give you until the last moment. And also you never expect maybe your opponents that day, like all of them, the rest, they just didn't have the luck or something wrong, like just didn't go well with them, and you're the one that last still hanging out there, and you won the prize. Might not because how good you were, but instead might just because you were there, you showed up and you tried your best at the moment, which maybe your opponents, regardless how well they were before or how talented they were, maybe just that day they didn't show up, or all of a sudden they didn't show their 100% maximum power, and you just beat them by that, like easy. So show up, expect nothing but put the max and the best yourself efforts when you showed up every time. That will actually give you the results way more than what you would expect. And another good example of this is like when I was getting to the university, right? That was my freshman year. And I think it was like the third or the fourth weeks that when we entered the university. So I was selected to join the student association group so that I knew people there, right? And by the time they were kind of recruiting the students from the freshman kind of group to get into the campus sports competition as well for swimming. And like I do swimming since I was little, but I was not athletic that kind of level, right? I know maybe the frog swimming, the very simple one, but I was really good in frog swimming. So I was thinking, okay, I will just give it a try. So another time I signed up without knowing who will be my opponents, because that's a big university, probably like thousands of students for each college or each campus, and I have zero idea like how many people will be signed up for this competition, who they were. They might be some country level really good athletics. It could be possible, right? Like I have zero idea. So when I attended that venue for the swimming pool, so I had zero idea who they were. After I finished my frog swimming competition, my students group's leader, they told me that there's another swimming competition with a different style. I forgot, I think it's butterfly style, which I had zero experience and I have no idea how could swim in butterfly style at all. I still don't today, but who cares, right? So they told me like, hey, we want you to sign up for this because, if you sign this up, regardless of which tier, which one that you got as the result, we will actually get some points for the group champion challenges, and that will give us a better opportunity to win a better grand level of prize. So I was like, okay, I truly don't care what the result is, and I'm not afraid of feel a little bit awkward not knowing how to swim butterfly style at all. So I just said yes. And when I was standing on top of that ready stage, when you're next in the swimming pool, for the competition, you cannot stay in the water to start, right? You have to like kind of jump from the stage into the water, into the swimming pool to start the game. So I was like, I never tried that jumping thing before. I was like, whatever, I just jump into the water. Definitely not elegant, but I did it, right? And then the game just started. I remember so clearly that my opponent, that was another interesting story because there's only one opponent, which usually, like, if there's like at least the gold medal, the silver medal, the bronze medal, right? So at least I would expect like maybe 10 competitors at all for this style at least. But I guess maybe no girls knowing how to swim butterflies, nobody really signed up for it. So I only have one opponent, which obviously she was kind of very athletic kind of level. She knew what she's doing. She's doing amazing about the butterfly style. So she went just right away out. Was super fast, super professional in her beautiful like a butterfly style. Well, meanwhile, I was just like, what am I doing? I just tried to like pretend that I'm doing the butterfly, which I didn't. So I just being really awkward, slow, and like I didn't know what I was doing. The only thing that I knew was like, okay, I cannot let myself draw in this pool, of course, not. So I'm just trying to mix everything that I know, like doggy style, like, or just a regular like the the frog swimming kind of leggings, like that leg with the butterfly style arms a little bit, like which was so awkward, so embarrassing. But actually, however, by the time I didn't feel awkward or embarrassed at all somehow, because I don't care. Just because I don't care that much, I just go for it, go with the flow. And I remember so clearly that like we supposed to go like I think like 2 rounds back and forth. And I remember for my first rounds, right? So when I started, I was barely half the distance of the length of the swimming pool. And my opponent, that girl, the athlete girl who knew what she's doing, she already came back. So I literally saw her swam past by me on my left line. Like I was still struggling going forward, right? On my lane just started. She's already like coming back. That was one of the most ridiculous moments ever that I've ever seen. But whatever. I kept my pace, right? Still remember my first goal, don't get myself drawn in that swimming pool, right? So I kept my promise and I did it. So I was like, okay, so let's continue. So I just finished my first lap. And for the second lap, I didn't hear nothing. Like I don't see her next to me or nothing. Like I feel like just myself in the swimming pool, like in that giant swimming pool. And whenever that I change my breath, right, like I look up, look around, I saw a lot of like I can see my supporters, like my friends from that student association group. They're all cheering for me. I was like, oh, this is so good. I was so naive, stupid a little bit, but who cares, right? Like, so I keep swimming, 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 and I finished my second lap. I remember, like, for that, I think it's 200 meters swimming competition. I probably took like 4 minutes or 5 minutes, something like slow as hell. Like nobody else would swim that slow in the real butterfly like style. I think butterfly style is supposed to be the fastest swimming style at all. But I was slow as hell, and I finally finished that. And wow, the cheers for me was like so impressive. Everybody's cheering for me, even the teachers that like hosting being the judge, like they just cheer for my brave, I guess. Like and also my fearless, for sure. Like nobody would want to get themselves shamed in the swimming pool like that. But for me, I just did not care. I said yes, I will. So I did it. And after that, actually, because I was willing to join the competition, and because I was lucky, like I only have one opponent who won the gold medal, which I won the silver medal. And since there's no other opponents, so we won the second prize, which gave us like probably 2 or 3 scores, which is pretty cool. Or maybe even more than that. I think like the gold medal will give you 6 points, and the silver medal will give you like 4 points, and 4 or 5 points, and then the bronze medal will give you like 3 points, and the rest of attendees will get 1 point. So just because I joined and I won the silver medal, so I logged like extra 4 scores for my college in the university, which led us to a better like ranking in general among like I think there were in total 16 colleges in this university. And this amazing experience just taught me one thing: show up, believe yourself, don't care much about what's the results, just enjoy the moment and commit all of yourself. Do your best at the moment, do as good as you can for this opportunity. Don't think about others, just think about yourself. Just think about what I know, what I can do in this opportunity, and give it 100%. That's it. Don't care much about the results. If you don't get a good results, don't worry, keep going, because that only means that it's not your timing yet. Your timing will ultimately come in. You just need to keep doing it. And before that, you always remember, a lot of times, whatever that you experienced in the journey, right, along the road, at the moment you might feel like, oh, I don't really know what does this mean, or like I don't feel there's any meaning to this try. It's just a waste of time, which was not true actually a lot of times, because you have to think about how SpaceX success today, how Elon Musk success. He fails so many times, but he doesn't give a shit. Like, he doesn't care at all. Who would care if you know that all this failure will ultimately leading you towards to that one success that you're really eager for, right? If that's the truth, if that's the reality that will be showing and will be achieving, you should not care about how many failures that you're going to face, right? Because all these failures, all this experience will ultimately cultivate you the capability and your endurance, and leading you to that one ultimate goal of success, leading to wherever that you want. And before that, never give up. Hope these stories help you, and see you next time. I'm Tiffany. I'm Wenxin Wang. See you next time.